everyone needs to agree upon it. Like for Candy Vibes, I mean, it's a huge event. The lineup is impeccable, and then I'm pretty sure you had dances. Do you have a particular pattern that this year we'll do dances, next year we'll do concerts, next year, the year after that we'll probably have a sit-down dinner, or is it just like when you're having a meeting, someone suggests and then you all agree on it?
Most of the time we agreed. I think we didn't have any very major issues, but we had some issues. But still, we agreed somehow or other.
The idea of tapping all these Candian artists to perform and perform for free, how did that come about, and who was in charge of that?
Because Dinali is the person who took care of all that contact details because I mean, if you really look at the names that we had, like Suraj Mapa, Clifford Richard, worked with us as a team, and through them it was easy for us to reach. Plus now when it takes to my school, we gave the responsibility of the school person to speak to the artist and get him down, get the contest, get the details. Then all that was handed over to her. Now you can tell how you did it.
I contacted all the artists and they were very supportive. Though it was difficult to get through to them, but they were very supportive, and somehow we contacted them, and so they agreed to come and do the show.
How is the level of friendly competition? Because there has to be a little bit of like, there are more from St. Anthony's coming for this concert than so-and-so school.
No, we never had that problem.
We never had that problem.
Seriously. No, I know they are trying to come to a place to see the guy's rival.
And also we wanted to, actually we want to give this message to the present students, you know, when they become old girls and old boys, they should continue this unity, you know. That's what we wanted to do, give this message.
And also to add on that, even the present school children, there are about 7 to 8 school children are coming. In order, they are going to do all the dance acts while the
they're coming from Kandy.
Perform. They're coming from Kandy.
Amazing.
About 8 to 10 schools are going to participate in this show.
That's nice.
So it's going to be a mix of old and present.
And yes.
So we'd just like to remind everyone, we're almost running out of time. Candy Vibes, it's happening on the 17th of the month at 6:30 in the evening. It's at Water's Edge, and tickets are reasonably priced, and if just the lineup alone is worth more than just the ticket. So please do drop by. And with the advent of a road coming to Kandy, will you miss Kandy more now? Because if the roads are fixed, I think it will be chopped up.
I will take an option of living there. Cooler climate, you know, it is like and nothing
easy
life.
The life pattern is very calm.
You can save a lot of money because 7 o'clock everything is dead.
I know that because every June we do make a trip to Kandy. But it's a wonderful place.
Absolutely.
I mean,
wonderful
the people are so warm. But yeah, with what is now said to be the construction of a road.
I think very soon it's going to come up, because with the highways which are coming up, it's going to come up and it's going to be very easy for traveling. And also from there to Nuareli, it's going to take you about 50 to 60 minutes. So
will you feel less special then?
Well, yeah.
Because there is a tradition that Candians have, which is I'm so in awe of. Like, a Candian is a Candian, but
I'm telling you, I've got a lot of friends actually from Kandy Ryan, and most of them are very proud to be from Kandy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tradition, there's a distinction. How do you feel about now? It's getting closer. It's a good thing. Like an hour travel.
No, I mean it's good. It's good in the sense. I mean, I would love to go back. I mean, I believe, as you said, I mean, Sri Lanka is a nice place to live. As you said, when time comes in your country, you will go one day and live there. Maybe when you get old. I think once you drag yourself towards that, you feel the place that you were born is very unique. So Kandy is a unique place. You won't get that what do you call that culture, as you said. Plus that environment, the people, kind of different. They're very laid down, nothing much happening. There is maybe one nightclub there.
But there's something happening. So thank you very much.
Can I mention one thing? The band, actually, we forgot to tell about our band. It's Mahesh Denipitia and friends.
So they are
big
names.
Sorry about
it's a full package, folks. And once again, 17th of February, it's happening at Water's Edge. It's Candy Vibes, and tickets are available at Torona and also at Water's Edge.
And also, just to thank my committee for supporting us in making this a successful event.
And also the sponsors.
We want to mention there are personal people who contributed personally. and they are very unique because they are given their personal money in order to make that show
Yes.
7. Just a big thank you for them also, and my committee
Yeah,
for
and
being part of
and
this.
thank you to you.
And also
Paul for-
MTV.
MTV, yes.
MTV for
Thank you
giving
very
this
much for
opportunity.
inviting us.
It was
Thank you very
our
much.
pleasure. And thank you very much. We will take a very short break. More of GMSL when we come back. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. And just before we move on, just to remind you, the concert called Candy Vibes happening on 17th of the month at 6:30 Waters Edge. And tickets are available at Waters Edge and Torna. And it goes for 2,000 and 1,000 for a worthy cause. So please do check it out, even if you're not from Candy. Yep, we get some stories.
Yes, we do, Ryan. Yes, we do. Before I go there, are you much of a football fan?
A little bit. I did follow the World Cup, being a big fan of Spain.
You are.
I'm a big fan of Spain. I may not know that, and of course, I'm a big fan of the football team from
Okay,
the
well,
Philippines.
if you are a fan of football and if our viewers out there are a fan of football, they're going to be a little disappointed because Europol, which is the EU police unit, finds evidence of large-scale match fixing
Oh.
in European football,
Here we go
Ryan.
again. Match
Yes.
fixing.
And my match fixing investigation, Ryan, has uncovered more than 380 suspicious football matches played.
380.
Not only in Europe, but around the world in recent years.
That's disappointing. I mean, people are so passionate about that sport. It's one of those, just like cricket, that's a passion of nations and equalize everything. They say there's
Definitely.
no war during World Cup, during the football World
I
Cup.
mean, a lot of nations come together during the World Cup, and even inside the nation, there are like a lot of people suddenly become patriots during the World Cup.
380 reported match
And they have uncovered 10.9 million in betting profits and 2.7 million in bribes to players and officials, and has already led to several prosecutions, Ryan.
That's bad. That's bad. But no one is named yet, right? No particular match has been said as like this is the example of a
Well,
match.
there's not much information on that aspect, but there are heavy investigations going on. But during the coming days, we'll get to know a lot about it.
Also, there's also a little bit of match fixing, and so the surprising ground central or ground zero is Singapore. Apparently, I'm not sure if it's a European football but something's happened in Singapore. I'll get to the bottom of that.
But then again, I'm not too sure if Singapore is a very popular team when it comes to football. Right?
And a lot of people won't think that something like that could happen, but something was in the news about it. Anyway,
Let's check that out.
yeah. And you have another story before we go to our interesting story
Oh, yes.
about.
Before we go into the interesting story, I'm
yeah.
going to tell you something about what's been happening again during this week. Ryan, are you a fan of Shakespeare?
A little bit.
Have you come across Richard III?
I'm not really. I'm more into the comedies and.
Not very much into the history aspect of it. Well, they have found Richard III's bones apparently in Leicester, England, and apparently buried under a parking lot.
Parking lot. That is interesting.
And yeah, there were like signs of battle trauma and curved spine and stuff like that, which Richard III apparently was supposed to have. And well, they have archaeologists, and they've had a lot of evidence to prove that it is Richard III indeed. And this is the basis of how they've come to this arrival, right? The battle wound on bones matches his final battle when he was killed, apparently.
Okay.
And they've also extracted DNA from his teeth and bones, and they've matched it with one of the direct descendants of his sister.
Okay, well, that could be Richard III, if I'm mistaken, right? Well, speaking of bones, here's a very interesting story that comes to us from Italy. An Italian museum that's full of skulls, brains, and skeletons of 19th century criminals. Okay, are facing a major lawsuit from descendants wanting to get the body parts of their long deceased relatives. So, true to the form, the title is "Heads Will Roll" as museum and relatives fight over the remains of 19th century criminals, and we have a video to prove it.
The Cesar Lambrose Museum of Criminal Anthropology in Turin could be classed as a house of horrors. Stuffed with skulls, brains and skeletons from the 19th century, it represents the life's work of Cesar Lambrose, an Italian physician and psychiatrist who began his collection in 1878. Hundreds of wax-covered heads line the shelves, some with the words thief or murderer written underneath, all part of Lambrose's research in the nature of criminal behavior. Lombroso espoused the view that criminality was not part of the normal human condition, nor was it caused by society. Rather, it resided in individuals who were by nature savage throwbacks and who could be identified by body type, mainly skull and facial features. Physical characteristics tied to being a natural-born criminal were many and included large jaws, forward projection of jaw, low-sloping foreheads, high cheekbones, flattened or upturned nose, handle-shaped ears, large chins, hawk-like noses or fleshy lips, hard, shifty eyes, scanty beard or baldness, insensitivity to pain and long arms. Many of the body parts on display in the museum were taken from prisoners without any permission from family members. Now, hundreds of years later, some distant relatives and local communities are saying it's time to get the body parts back. The museum insists it is not some kind of ghoulish CSI lab, but rather a unique testimony to an important era in Italian science. We must clarify what we mean by a horror. Obviously, we have various human skulls on show, and you can find these in many Italian museums, let alone abroad. Museums of anatomical history, history of science, archaeological museums, in Egyptian museums, you can see human remains. They are on show everywhere today. The director of the Lombroso Museum, Silvano Montaldo. Much of Lombroso's work was later discredited, but he is credited with being one of the first scientists to move away from focusing on the nature of the crime towards the criminal's motivations and habits, and is considered by some as being the father of modern criminology.
Interesting. If you have high cheekbones, flattened upturned nose, handle-shaped ears, large chins, hawk-like noses, fleshy lips, hard, shifty eyes, beard, baldness, long arms, you may be a natural-born criminal.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it did say 19th century, right?
Yeah.
So that would be their like great-great-grandfathers or great-grandfathers.
But it's a little morbid. It's a little ghoulish, really. But also, we'd like to also inform you folks that for the very special concert, the Candy Vibes, happening 17th of the month at Water's Edge. Tickets available at Water's Edge. Of course, one of the most famous candy and two of the most famous candies will be joining them, Kumar Sangakkara and Murali Muralidharan. So please do consider Kumar. He's not going to sing. Well, we don't think he will. And Murali will be there, so do make yourself.
Well, as far as I know, Murali doesn't sing either.
Yeah, well, they're very good cricketer players and good looking. So that's Candy Vibe 17th of the month.
And also we've got a promotion, which we'd like to tell our viewers again. So for Valentine's is 6 days away. If you want to win that special treat from MTV, you gotta type. What was that again? MTV space love and send it to 77788.
Yes, and also don't forget today is the deadline for you to register for the Nidasa Run, the run for freedom for Lanka, and today is the deadline. And with that, we wish you all a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.